Welcome to the SpotOn Payments application for Android. To get started, log into the app using your SpotOn merchant credentials. You can use the eye icon to view or hide your password. Once you've logged in, you will see the terminal screen. Before processing your first transaction, manage your settings by selecting the menu icon in the top left corner and navigate to Settings. On the tax screen, you can decide whether or not taxes will be applied to transactions by default by toggling the Apply Tax switch. On this screen, you can also set the percentage of tax that will be applied to all transactions. You have the option to either use standard tax rounding or to always round up. Select Save. On the Tips screen, you can decide whether or not your customers will be able to leave tips on transactions by toggling the Accept Tips switch. On this screen, you can also define 3 default tip percentages, which will be suggested to your customers when they're checking out. They will be able to select one of these 3 options to be automatically calculated and added to their subtotal. On the signature screen, you can decide whether or not your customers have to sign using their finger or a stylus in order to complete a transaction by toggling the Request Signature switch. If you choose to request a signature in order to complete a transaction, you can decide whether to only request a signature when a transaction's total is $20 or more, or to always request a signature no matter the total. On the card reader screen, you can view the connection status with your SpotOn mobile card reader. If you've previously connected to your card reader, select Connect. Select the device on this screen to connect to it. You will see an animation that indicates a successful connection. If you're pairing your SpotOn mobile card reader for the first time, you will be directed to your device's Bluetooth settings to establish the connection. Once the connection has been made, navigate back to the app and you will see an animation that indicates a successful connection. If you wish to disconnect the device, tap the Disconnect Card Reader button to do so. Navigate to the terminal once your settings have been completed. In order to begin a transaction, enter the transaction amount using the number pad. If you've indicated in your settings to apply tax to your transactions, you will see a checkbox labeled Tax. Select your customer's tender type, cash or charge, to continue. If your customer is paying with cash, on the next screen, enter the amount of cash you received from your customer and select Done. You will then see a Sale Details screen, where you can view details about the transaction, including the calculated change that must be returned to your customer. If your customer is paying with card, on the next screen you will be prompted to submit payment. Tap or swipe credit card. If your SpotOn mobile card reader is not paired, refer to the settings portion of this video for pairing instructions. If you wish to enter the card information manually, select Enter Manually and fill out your customer's card information in the form provided. Select Submit once the information has been filled out. The next screen lets you review and complete the transaction. If you have indicated in your settings to allow customers to leave a tip on your transactions, the customer will have the option to select either No Tip, one of the 3 tip percentages you defined in your settings, or a custom tip. If you have indicated in your settings to request a signature from your customer and the transaction total aligns with your selection, i.e. $20 or more versus any amount, the customer will be prompted to sign the screen using their finger or a stylus if you have one. Once your customer chooses a tip, if indicated, and signs if indicated, select Done. You will then see a Sale Details screen, where you can view details about the transaction. You have the option to email a receipt to your customer by selecting Email Receipt. Enter your customer's email and select Send Email. You also have the option to refund this transaction by selecting Refund Transaction and will be prompted to verify the refund. This refund will be listed as a separate transaction in the Transactions page, which we will explore later. To go back to the terminal, select the back arrow. In order to view your transaction history, navigate to Transactions, including both cash and card payment transactions, as well as refunds. Here you will see a list of your past transactions, ordered chronologically, with the most recent transactions at the top of the list. There is a search bar at the top of the screen, where you can search for a specific transaction by the transaction's ID, or by the last 4 digits of the card used during the transaction. To easily return to the terminal, you can select the purple icon at any time. Selecting a transaction will direct you to the transaction's sales details. To leave feedback on the app, select the Feedback menu option. You will be redirected to your device's email app, where a new email has been autofilled with SpotOn's support email address. Compose a message containing your feedback and send it. Selecting Frequently Asked Questions or Terms and Conditions will redirect your device's default web browser app to open SpotOn's website, where you can view helpful information.